Today we are talking, hang on, something's not right. That's better. Let's talk about vintage accessories. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about vintage accessories. I did a vintage clothing haul quite a while ago on my channel, and everyone seemed to really love that. So I did promise in that video I was going to talk about my vintage accessories and do a whole separate video on them. So here it is. Maybe, just maybe, I will style them for you if I'm not too lazy. I am, by the way, going to mention this beautiful dress from Auburn Vintage. This is a 1940s dress, which has beautiful, beautiful details. It's got, oh, I thought they were grapes. It's got flowers on it. And it's just very lovely. So I wanted to match the theme that we were going with today. Because it is wintertime, I wanted to highlight a special pair of gloves that I purchased last year. Here they are. These are Italian leather gloves from Lapri, which is a secondhand and vintage shop near me. And I bought these because I didn't have an elegant pair of gloves to wear with my more fancy jackets. I have, you know, the standard Canada, Vancouver 2010 Olympic gloves, but I didn't have any that matched the vintage style that I often go for. So I got these because they were nice and long, so when you roll up your sleeves in a coat, for example, you still have some coverage for these very chilly Canadian winters. And I really liked the color as well. They're just a very pretty caramel color. And they've got a button on the side. They're very buttery soft. And they also, because they're vintage, I think this is really interesting. The tops of the fingertips are kind of rounded such that they're meant to accommodate fingernails, long fingernails. And I just think that's really interesting. So I have been wearing these, well, I wore them last winter, and I intend to wear them this winter as well if I happen to go anywhere nice, which doesn't really happen anymore, but if it does, I'm sure I will be giving these another wear. I feel like a bit like a femme fatale when I wear these. I don't know, what do we think? Next up is these. I purchased these from Silver Birch Vintage at a clothing market, actually, last year, and I bought them because they have a bit of a, well, they have a cat eye to them, and they're a bit 40s, 50s, but I do think that they are probably reproduction, so they're probably 90s, I think, but I just really fell in love with this color because, like, come on, that's beautiful. Vintage sunglasses are one of those things where they can either be really expensive or really inexpensive, and it depends on what your price range is and what you're looking for. But if you're looking for a classic style, like a cat eye, try going true vintage. There are a few options out there for you, whether they're reproduction or not. So I think this is a great way to finish off a vintage or a vintage inspired outfit. So love these. I wear these quite a bit in the summertime because they've got a bit of a periwinkle color. Next up is jewelry. I put all this jewelry in my lap, which is probably a bad idea. I have a couple of brooches here. This one is from my great-grandmother. When she passed away when I was about, I want to say maybe 6 or 7, and she left behind a lot of costume jewelry like this. So I was lucky enough as a 7-year-old to be able to go through a couple of her pieces and take the ones that I was interested in. And I mean, thank goodness I picked kind of a cool one. It almost looks like an angel at first I thought it was a cross, but it looks like an angel inside this little heart. And I just think, especially even with this dress actually, this kind of brooch is really pretty. I think I've decided I want to be the person who like brings brooches back into style. I've seen a couple of vintage stores near me use them as scarf clips with vintage coats, and I think that's really cool. So here's another one. I think it's a ladybug. This is just a cute one too. I am not a bug person in real life, but I have no problem wearing it as a brooch. And I just thought that was really pretty. Next up, oh no, they are tangled. Okay, got it. Next up is this gold, can you even see this? I don't know, hopefully. Gold, sort of metallic necklace. This is also from Lapri. And what's cool about this one is that you can change where the circles are. So for example, if you wanted to just wear this as a very long chain, you can put them right up together. If you wanted to shorten the chain, you can do that too. So I'm not sure if I know exactly which era this is from. I want to say probably 80s, I would think. And yeah, it's just a nice little chain, good for layering to put on as well. Next are charm bracelets. I have my own sort of, you know, the Link charm bracelets. I'll insert a picture of mine, but you remember those when we were kids? My mom and my grandma actually gave me their version of those. So this one is my mom's, and it's got all these different charms on it. My favorite is this one because it's a literal chest of pirate treasure. How cool is that? I like wearing these when I'm wearing vintage and non-vintage because I think it just adds to the look. I do also have my grandmother's charm bracelet, which has a few different charms on it, but I think my favorite is this duck. There are a couple unique ones on here. There's a bingo card. I just think having something like this as sort of a family heirloom is nice to have because, you know, if I have a daughter one day, or if my future son perhaps wants these bracelets, then I would be happy to pass that along in addition to my own. So having vintage family jewelry is also really, really special, I think. So I do wear these when I can. All right, next up is purses. Now, I have to usually physically restrain myself from purchasing those little small, beautiful sequined party bags from vintage stores because they're pretty common in vintage clothing stores and even just vintage stores, period. And they're all so beautiful, but I know I don't often, especially this year, have a place to use those. So I've purchased a couple. So Lapri is featuring heavily in this video, by the way, but this is a very small, almost a clutch from Lapri. I've used this actually as a clutch before. I've taken the string and I've put it inside, and then it becomes sort of a cute little clutch for events. This is probably 80s again. It just fits my phone and it's tough to fit anything else in there, but if it's a light day where I only really need my phone, maybe my wallet and keys, it all fits in here, I think, fairly well. Next up, also from Lapri, is this gorgeous sequined evening bag. I have used this for holiday parties. I've used this in general for special events, and it does come with a strap as well. Oh, and my standard bunch of Band-Aids. Every evening bag I think that I use, I find old Band-Aids, not old Band-Aids, like packaged Band-Aids in because I assume that my shoes are gonna destroy my feet. So I put them in there just in case. Good tip to have all your evening bags stocked with Band-Aids. Next is this Structured Beauty, maybe from the 60s or 70s or 80s, I'm not sure. This is from Auburn Vintage. It's a beautiful olive green color. I love the clasp. I don't know why, but it's just so satisfying to open. What's really neat about this too is that the strap is movable, so you can hold it like this, or if you want, you can open it all the way and hold it on your forearm as you're walking along, which I kind of like. It gives me the whole vintage feel. And this purse in particular, when I pair it with this dress, sort of makes me feel like a time traveler or a ghost. And my biggest goal when I'm walking down the street in this type of outfit is for people to mistake me for a time traveler or a ghost. Because I just think, why not have a little fun with your vintage, right? This was $30, I think, and I really am happy that I found it. Next is this beautiful brown, sort of light brown leather purse from Hazelwood Vintage in Saskatoon, of all places. We went to Saskatoon for a wedding toward the end of last year, and I looked up all of the vintage and secondhand stores in that area ahead of time so I could go check them out. And this was one of the purchases from that store. So I walked in and I just was really attracted to the color, the stitching, and the detail on it. It's one of those like dump bags that you can just throw all of your stuff that you'll need for the day. It's got a nice long strap so you can use it crossbody or just on one shoulder. The only downside, I would say, is that it does have an actual buckle on it. So every time you want to open it, you have to undo the buckle. So I usually just loop the strap through so I don't have to do that. You can just carry it like this and put the strap inside too, which I've also done before. Last is this gorgeous purple evening bag pocketbook with this beautiful silver design on it. This is from the 1940s and it's from Franny's Attic. Another thing I love about it too is it is a Gorewood bag made in Canada, which you don't see much of anymore. And the top or the mouth of the bag looks fairly small, but you can actually fit more in it. So a phone, a wallet, keys do actually fit in here. I wore this with a purple vintage cocktail dress from the 1960s and a pair of modern purple shoes. And it all went together very well. I wore it to a wedding. I think this is my favorite wedding guest purse that I own. Last up, hats. Now, I am a huge vintage hat person. I love the way a vintage hat can spice up an outfit or bring it together. And people don't often wear hats or sort of Easter bonnets anymore. And I think that's a bit of a shame because I think they are beautiful. And here they are. First hat I got from La Osa in Stratford. I don't know why, I'm sorry Pamela who owns La Osa, but I don't know why I always say it like that. La Osa. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly actually. I hope I am. But I got this at La Osa in Stratford. I was basically on my way out of the store and I saw it way up on a shelf and I just loved the navy blue and the white. I thought it would look really good with a red lip and it reminds me a bit of Madeline. So as soon as I thought that, I was pretty much sold. I think this is a nice hat to go with plain dresses because it does have a very specific pattern on it and I think that, you know, that sort of stands on its own. But I'm excited to see once I can go more places in the world after the pandemic hopefully is under control, where else I can wear this because I really do love it. Next is this one, a beautiful gray felt hat from Auburn Vintage. It's got this beautiful design on the side. I actually used this hat in my Archie Comics video. This was my Jughead hat and I really like it. I just haven't found, I think, the best way to wear it yet. So I can wear it sort of down and to the side like this. I can wear it back a little bit more. I'm just not sure exactly how I want to style this yet, but I think it will look nice and continue to look nice with the more blazer style jackets that I have. This is also an Auburn Vintage purchase. I also purchased this Edelweiss pin to stick right on the front. And I just think this is lovely. I've worn this with circle skirts and tank tops before in the summer. I just like that it's just a pretty sun hat. It doesn't do much to block the sun. As you can see, there are many holes in it, but I just think it does and can complete an outfit quite beautifully. And it's also got a little string if I wanted to get super cute about it. Last is quite possibly the holy grail of vintage hats. Now this is what I call my original Madeline hat. And I found this, again, I think for $30 at Auburn Vintage a while ago. It's got a beautiful bow on the back and a ribbon, and I just love it. This hat has garnered me quite a few compliments back in my day. Back in my day, I've actually had people stop their cars in the middle of the street to compliment me on this hat. And I don't know what the power of this hat is, but it certainly holds quite a bit of power over people, including myself, because I just think it is so cute and just adds a little bit of sunshine to an outfit. I think vintage accessories are a good gateway into buying vintage if you haven't done so already or you're not really sure where to start. Little evening bags are pretty much in abundance everywhere at vintage stores, whether clothing stores or not. So are vintage brooches and bracelets, hats also. I think there's a lot of good options available to you if you want to consider vintage accessories. Maybe you're not ready to go full on into vintage clothing, but maybe you would purchase a vintage evening bag for an event at some point. Vintage accessories are a beautiful gateway to the vintage universe, and I hope that some of these items have maybe inspired you to check out your local vintage store or shop online for pieces like this, because vintage doesn't have to be extremely expensive or unaffordable. There are items that I've shown today that are 30 bucks, even less. So try them out if you can, because who wouldn't want to be mistaken for a time traveler? Am I right? Thank you for watching, as always, and if you do want to see any more of these types of sit-down chatty videos, please do let me know, because I really don't know what you want. It's true though, it's true, I really don't. So, I don't know, please like and subscribe and tell me.